Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Anthony Luciano Raimondi. What's up, man?
Not too bad. How you doing, cuz?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
All right, not bad. Feeling a little fucked up a little bit from the chemo over the weekend, but not too bad.
Yeah, it's good that you're getting back on track with that, because chemo is
Yeah.
fucking bad, man.
Yeah, man. It's like driving me fucking crazy going back and forth with this bullshit. Originally, when it started out as my thyroids. Then they took it out, and then it went to my lymph nodes. They took it out of there. Then it went to a thing growing in my stomach. Then they got that out. Then now it's in the blood. So I've been fighting with that with the blood because my blood levels are insane.
What's up? What's up, everybody that's watching? Thank you for joining us. We got he's got a good story. You got a good story for us tonight, man?
Yeah, a guy that I met years ago to my Lansky, Benny Binion out in Las Vegas.
Benny Binion.
Yeah.
He was a gangster. He was a gangster, right?
Yeah, but he was also a cowboy. Seriously.
Yeah.
He had one of the first casinos or gambling joints in Las Vegas. He was a real out and out cowboy. This guy used to walk around with 2 6-guns strapped to his hips, one on the right and one on the left. And he could on the right and one on the left, and he could draw them out of the holster with either one. But Benny's an old timer. Before Bugsy Siegel was even there, Benny had his casino up over there. It wasn't a big joint at the time. It was like maybe, from the story I got, was told to me, it was like maybe like one level. But then as Las Vegas started getting popular, he had a ton of money, Benny, and then that's when they built Binion's Horseshoe. But he had a story. I mean, I don't know how true it is. I got it from Maya, and even Benny was telling me. Benny Binion was telling me. He said that years ago, he goes, a lot of people mistook his kindness for weakness. I said, so what are you talking about, Ben? He said, they mistook my kindness for weakness. Like one guy, I don't know, he lent the guy, I don't know how much money, maybe 30, 40,000. And the guy thought Benny was a pushover and said, fuck it, I'm not paying you. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, that Benny was, he was a gentleman about it. He didn't say nothing. One day, the guy's wife went out and she took the dog with her to talk to the grooming and to take it to the dog groomers, right? The kids went to school and this guy was bad mouthing Benny. P.S. Make a long story short. Now, this is the way the story goes. Now, I got this from Maya and I got this from Benny Binion himself. He hired a plane, small plane. Like when you got like those single engine planes. Like we're gonna jump from like one. No, you got from so like if you're gonna go from the north to the south in the same state. You know what I'm saying?
Just a small plane,
Right,
yeah.
little plane. Supposedly, he got a guy to fly one of those planes, and there was like they said 3 guys in it. One guy was flying it, and the other 2, supposedly, the way the story goes, they dropped a bomb on the guy's house and killed him. Swear to God. That's what I heard the story was. That they actually, that's an old story. It's been around a long, long time.
I heard I read a story about Benny Binion in Texas before he went to Vegas that he was suspected in killing some guy's wife or something in a car with a car bomb.
Anything's possible with him because he's supposed to kill this guy with a bomb that they dropped on the house. And ever since that happened, nobody ever messed with Benny no more. Everybody always paid him the money they had to pay him. But the guy's wife, the funny part about it is 6 months after this guy got clipped at the bomb, she married a wise guy out in Las Vegas. So evidently she wasn't too, and she collected on the insurance on him also. But long time ago, after Lufthansa, Alley Boy and everybody was going down to Las Vegas. They says, come on, we're taking you to Las Vegas. You deserve a vacation. It's okay. We get on the plane, get on the jet, we get to Las Vegas, we come off the jet. Who do I see standing there? I see Meyer Lansky standing there. Because I hadn't seen him in a short while. How you doing? Hugging me, kissing me, what's doing, blah, blah, blah. I told Maya, it's great to see. Why didn't you tell me you want to be here? Because I want to surprise you. So I was surprised. So we were staying at the Sands. Anyway, we go to the hotel and everything. That night, we're downstairs in the casino. Maya says, she wants you to come with me because I want to introduce you to somebody, a friend of mine. It's okay. I get in the car with Maya, and he's driving, and we drive to Binion's Horseshoe, Benny Binion's casino, the Horseshoe. All right. So we go there. I go in. He introduced me. Says, "This is Benny Binion." He says, "This is Anthony." You know, he told him all about me. Benny says, "It's a pleasure to meet you." I said, "It's a pleasure, Benny." And I think they had a poker game going. He says, "You wanted to play?" I says, "Yeah." I said, "But I only got like about 4,000 with me." So he says, "Give him credit." So he said to Maya, "I'll give him credit." He says, "Give him $50,000 credit." I looked at him, 50, no, 100,000. I go, "I'm sorry, it was 100 grand." So I get the credit, and I'm sitting in on the game, and I'm playing, and I was doing good. And I was playing. There was another guy in this game called Vegas Bill. Now, this guy, Vegas Bill, was a gambler. He was a Shylock, a gambler, bookmaker. He was an out-and-out nasty prick, let's put it that way. So I'm playing, and I'm winning, and what happened? I won big that night. I gave Benny back the money for the credit, and I must have had about 175,000 that I won, and this guy, Vegas Bill, lost. So one thing led to another. Me and this guy, Vegas Bill, got into an argument. I mean, hey, it's a legitimate game. I'm not stealing. You got the dealer over there. You lost. So what do you want from me? It wasn't your night. You just had a bad night. I mean, you're a professional, you're a gambler or whatever. You had a bad night. P.S. Me and him arguing. I figured it was going to come to blows and we're going to start pounding on each other. I said I was ready. And who comes walking on with Benny Binion? And Benny tells him to keep quiet. He says, "You lost. Don't start in. Anthony's a friend of mine. Nothing crooked went on over here, on and on." So he says, "Anthony, go get yourself a drink." So I walked over to the bar, got a drink. Benny comes walking over. At the corner of my eye, I'm turning my head. I see Vegas Bill coming up with a bottle to hit Benny. I pushed Benny out of the way. I got caught right in the left side of my head. He hit me with the bottle. Broke right over my head, the guy. He broke it. I went down. I went down on one knee. I got up. I just fucking charged him. We started. I started punching him. I bit him on the arm. I think I took a chunk of his arm out. P.S. I wasn't ready to go. The guy hit me with a bottle. I thought this guy was going to kill me. So P.S. blood all over the place. One of the people in the place there that was gambling called the cops. So the Vegas police come. Which really, with the Vegas police, we can do whatever we want with them. But then the regular police came in. What happened? We're talking about what happened. We understand there was a fight, and they're looking at me. We heard somebody hitting me with a bottle. Nobody hit me with a bottle. So I fell. I said, "I've been drinking too much." I fell down. I hit my head on the table. I pointed to the table. So the cop walks up and goes, "There's no blood there." I said, "Well, they cleaned it up." So Benny Binion is talking to him and mine. They said, "Listen, the guy had too much to drink. He's a friend of ours. He's stumbling. He fell down. I think when he cracked his head, it sobered him up. We're going to take him to get him fixed." After about 20 minutes or so, cops leave. That's okay. They tell Vegas Bill. Benny tells him, says, "Get out of here. Don't come back in. You can't come back in." So they patched me up and everything. The rest of the night I was in the casino. We hanging out. And I go back to the hotel. All right. So we're down there, and from then we went to we're at the Sands, we went to the Mirage, we're all over the place down there. About 2 days go by, and Maya says to me, "I got to talk to you." I said, "What?" Because you got to take a ride with Benny out into the desert. I look, I says, "For what?" He says, "He's got a box, he's got a berry that he's got gold in." All right. I didn't think nothing of it. But then I'm starting to think, when they tell you you got to take a ride in the desert in Las Vegas, that means you ain't coming back. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. I said, no, Maya wouldn't put a hit on me. I mean, because me and Maya get along. I didn't do nothing wrong. And anyway, Benny picks me up with his car. Now, Benny had this big, huge, it was a Eldorado.
What do you have, the fucking horns on the front and shit?
He had the steel horns on the front. It was a convertible top. It was huge. He picks me up. He says, "Come on, Nate, let's go for the ride." I'm sitting in the car. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm sitting in the car with my back to the door to the car door, and I'm looking at Benny. Because I'm still not got in my head. You go to the desert over there. one of you ain't coming back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I'm gonna find
Yeah.
you. And I'm going through my head, but I didn't do nothing wrong. I mean, nobody would get. I said, Allie wouldn't give the okay for a hit or anything like that. P.S. We go about 10 miles out, and there's this big rock. And he goes, here's where we're going over there. It's okay. We get out of the car. He goes, let's get everything out of the trunk. Now I'm saying to myself, when I open that trunk, if I don't see a box in there and he tells me to go in and get the shovels, I'm going to whack him. I'm going to hit him with something. I said, because then it's not going to put me in the trunk of the car. I open up the trunk of the car, and there's this big crate.
Hell yeah.
A crate, like an old steamer trunk in the car, in the trunk. He goes, come on, let's get this out. I'm picking it up, and I said, man, this thing is heavy. He says, yeah, well, I got it. He goes, what's in it weighs a lot. Now I'm thinking, okay, then it's gold, like Maya told me. So we dragged this thing about maybe 40 feet, 50 feet to where we were going to bury it, from where the car was. Me and Benny started digging a hole, okay? I went down about 6 feet, made a big 6-foot hole. We got this box, big little boom. This thing hit in the sand. I think it sunk about another foot in the sand. We covered it up. Get back in the car, drive back to Vegas. All right. That night I go back to the hotel. That night Maya says, come on, you come with me. I said, all right. I go down, I see Benny's there. We're in Benny's car. Benny hands me a card. It was his gold card, it was called. I said, what's this? He says, you go to any casino on this strip. You got a $100,000 credit line with them. You got to pay it back if you take it, but you got a $100,000 credit line with any casino. I looked, I said, you're kidding me. He says, no. He goes, but. He says, now, any hotel you want to stay at, you give them this card. It'll pay for your hotel, your food, your drinks, whatever. You don't have to pay for that. I said, well, I got to pay that back. He says, no. He goes, the hotel's for free on the card. I said, oh, wow. He said, but whatever money you borrow on it, at the casino, that you got to pay back. Said, okay, fine.
You said he had the first casino there, right?
He had
the first
right.
casino.
He had the first gambling joint there. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So
what year did all this happen?
It was 1979. It was 79. Now we're going up and down the strip, and we're stopping in all these casinos, these hotels. He's introducing me to everybody. Some of the guys I knew because they were from New York. They were down there. Some guys I didn't know. Some guys I heard of. So everything was going good. So anyway, time goes by, and I'm down in Florida. About maybe 2-3 years went by, and I'm down in Florida. I'm by Maya's house, and me and Maya were talking. This is how's Benny doing? He goes, good. As a matter of fact, Benny's on the phone. This is like 19. I'll tell you right away when it was. It was 1982. 1982. Before I got my last arrest, my last pinch. 1982. Hey, Benny, how you doing? Fine, blah, blah, blah. Good, everything nice. I said, I got to tell you. I said, hey, Maya. He goes, what? After we get off the phone. I said, is that trunk still buried in the desert where me and Benny buried it with all the gold in it? And he starts laughing. I said, what are you laughing about? He goes, what gold? I said, you told me there was gold in the trunk. Benny told me there was gold in the trunk. We dragged it to the thing, buried it there. But there was no gold in the trunk. I said, what the fuck was in the trunk? It was so heavy. He goes, Vegas bill was in the trunk. I said, what? He goes, Vegas bill was in the trunk. I said, you kidding me? He said, listen to me. He goes, remember when you got to the fight with Vegas? I said, how could I forget? My head still hurts on that side. He goes, Benny threw him out of the casino that night. I says, right. He goes, Benny got him the next day, told him, come on, I want to see you. I was just mad. He goes, Benny killed him. I said, you kid? He goes, what? He says, Benny killed him because he hit you with a bottle. That was Benny. That was Vegas Bill in the trunk when you buried it in the desert. I said, you got to be kidding. He goes, no, that's Vegas Bill. He goes, don't you remember Vegas Bill disappeared? I said, yeah, nobody can find him. That's where he is, in the trunk. I said, as far as I'm concerned, I forgot where we buried him. I said, I don't want to know nothing. Then Maya got sick in, I think it was 83, Maya passed away. I got arrested in September, on Labor Day weekend. They even came and arrested me in 82. Maya died in, I believe it was 83. And I couldn't go to his wake because the parole board wouldn't let not the parole officer, I'm sorry, the court wouldn't let me go because I was out on bail. I was waiting to go away. And I even told him, listen, I'll pay for the marshal service to come to Florida with me. Just give me 5 minutes just to pay my respects. And we're back on the plane. I'll pay for everything. They said no, they wouldn't let me go because I was out on bail. I mean, they could have let me go if they wanted. They could have.
Yeah,
I said I was willing just to fly down, fly the marshals, pay them their day's salary, fly back the same day. Like, just give me 5 minutes. They wouldn't do it. That's how
they don't want to hear that shit, man. They don't want to hear
No.
any of that shit.
Now, what happened when I went away? I came home and I'm on parole. I'm on parole now. It's 1988. I'm on parole. 1989 in December, I get a call from Bill Jr. that Benny died. That Benny Binion died. I said, I'm on parole. I said, I got to ask my parole officer. I went to my parole officer, and he refused to let me go to Las Vegas even for that week, too. He said, if you go, that's a violation of your parole. I'm going to have you violated. He wouldn't even let me go to that. I said, I'll do the same thing. I said, the marshal can come with me, or I'll pay for the security to come with me. They didn't want to know nothing. They didn't want to know nothing. I only had maybe 12 more months of parole left. That's all I had, the maximum, 12 months. I mean, why am I going to skip out on parole? I mean, I already did.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you got 30 days, man. Don't matter if you got 30 days left. They're not going to let you go anywhere.
No, they wouldn't let me go. They wouldn't let me go They wouldn't let me go. I said, I mean, come on. It's not like anything big going on. I mean, just go down there, pay my. I said, we'll fly back the same day. Nope, they didn't want to know nothing. They were hard with me. Let me tell you, parole officer was hard with me. They were, because they didn't like me. They didn't like my family. They didn't like my father, my grandfather, my uncles. They didn't like nobody in my family. They didn't like anybody associated with the family. They just hated us. Let's put it that way. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, they treat you like shit, basically, right? Like a second-class citizen.
I think a second-class citizen got treated better than me.
Back in the day, they used to treat Italians like shit, real bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, they still don't treat them that good. Don't kid yourself. They still don't treat them that good. When we used to go to the parole officer, we used to go to 188 Montague. First, I started out. I was at 175 Renson Street, and then they switched us to 188 Montague Street. And everybody that I knew that was on parole, that I couldn't associate with because we're on parole, they used to have us all there at the same time. All of us were there at the same time. And we all looked at each other. Hey, how you doing? How you been? Over there, we can talk to each other. But if we
it's
were
like
out on the street after that, they would have violated us.
Yeah, it's like you're having a fucking meeting and you're having a meeting at the parole office.
Yeah. But meanwhile, like a good friend of mine said, he says, Anthony, when we talk, we just talk about anything we want, just bullshit and talk. He said, because they're putting all of us together in the same area. The area is wired. I said, no, definitely, without a doubt. Without a doubt, they had it wired. Thinking we were going to be talking business or past events or something like that. We just used the bullshit about our family, the kids, how much we hated the parole officer. We made sure he heard that, and that was it. But I mean, come on, you're putting all the same guys, but yet if we were outside and we said hello to each other and we were talking, you'd violate the both of us.
If you get caught. Yeah, you get caught in the car or something. You get caught in the car with another felon.
Violate. Right away, you get violated. You get violated. They don't want to know nothing. They violate you and then they throw you back for the rest of your sentence.
I was on probation a bunch of times, man, and they told me I won't violate you if you do this, this, and this, and they still violated me. I still went to prison.
Yeah, they're gonna violate you no matter what. They want you to screw up so they can stick you back in. Well, they figure if they throw you back in, you're gonna start talking. Not all the time it works like that. Doesn't go like that all the time.
Man, when I got out of prison, I wanted to go back to the parole office just to tell them to fuck off. But if I ever land back on it, man, I'll be screwed. You know?
And that would have been a new charge if you would have went there and started in with them. You know that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter what you do, you can't. I mean, me, when I used to go to my parole officer, the first parole officer I had was Ronald Ketchum. That was his name. I swear to God. Me and this guy did not get along.
How long did you have him for?
On the first case, I had him for 4 years, and then he violated me. Yeah, and he almost got killed during the violation also. I was on parole for 4 years, and I had a piece of a club called Desiree on West 6th Street between Kings Highway and Quentin Road. And we had a car service next door, me and this guy, Joe Z. So I'm sitting in there. Now, this is when I got arrested again in Labor Day weekend, 1982. So I'm sitting there, and I got the story in my book. Well, I believe I got the story in my book. I think I got either book 1 or it's going to be a book 2. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and we're counting the money because we had the club open up. And I got piles of money on top of the table. Joe Z sitting next to me. We got the drawer open. I had a little compartment underneath the desk. I had a sawed-off shotgun, pump action, and I had a 45 in the drawer next to me. And Joe Z had that open where he could always grab it. We had money on top of the desk. Anyway, 2 guys walk in, blue dungarees, dungaree jacket, and everything, and they come out with guns out. So I looked at Joe. He looked at me. I just picked my hands up like this. I says, "There's the money. Take the money." Guy says, "We don't want the money." Now I'm saying, "Oh, fuck." I said, "It's a hit." Now I look at Joe. He's looking at me and we're saying, "Is it you or is it me?" It doesn't make a difference if it's you or me, but the both of us got to go. Can't leave a witness. So I'm talking like this guy. Hey, pal, look, let's talk about this. And I'm bringing my hands down. And these guys ain't saying shit. And I'm saying to myself, these guys got to be the dumbest hitmen I ever seen. I'm bringing my hands down. Josie's putting his hand in the cabinet. I got the shotgun in my hand. I say, "Fellas, let's talk about this." Who do I see starting to come through the door? My parole officer, Ronald Ketchum. I says, "Holy shit." I said, "There's going to be a shootout. This son of a bitch, these guys will kill him. I'm going to get blamed for murdering this guy. I'm going away for life." The guy turns around. The both of them turn around. I'm coming out with the shotgun, bringing it up like this. They go, "Oh, Mr. Ketchum, glad you're here." And I got me and Joe. I got the thing I threw underneath the opening I had. "Oh, thank God, Mr. Ketchum. These guys know you." I said, "What the hell is going on?" He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm so glad to see you." He looked at me. I said, "These 2 guys come in. You know them?" I said, "I thought it was a hit. They come in with their guns out." He goes, "No, they're FBI agents." Meanwhile, they didn't take out their friggin' shields. They finally take them out. He goes, "They're here to arrest you." I said, "Okay, go ahead." I put my hands like this guy handcuffed me. Josie looks at me, he starts laughing. Well, it wasn't a hit. So they handcuffed me, they took me out. And that's when that was the second arrest I had. That was on my second case when I went away in 83. But me and Josie looked at each other, we started laughing. I says, these guys didn't have, if they would have had their badges out, okay, they had no badges, no nothing. I says, "Oh, man." But when the guy said Ketchum, I said, when he said, "Oh, Mr. Ketchum, we're glad to see you," I knew something was up. But when I threw the shotgun back in there, I'm telling you, how we didn't get pinched for that. I got up and they handcuffed me. I had to take me.
That would have been insane, man. That would have been insane. Get into a big shootout with the parole officer.
Now, if they were there to do something, like I was saying to myself, picture if they're there to do something to me or Joe, both of us got to go. My parole officer walks in, they'll wind up shooting him. We get away and they'll say that I shot him. No, I don't need that nonsense. I says, let me tell you, that was the first time I was never so happy to see the feds. Believe me when I tell you. Me and Josie, that was the first time we were happy because we knew. But all right, you're gonna arrest me. Go ahead, take me. I spent the weekend I was at MCC for the weekend because it was Labor Day weekend. So they didn't let us come out right away. But I got out a day and a half later, which is good because my lawyer, Frank Lopez, he went and he made such a stink that I should be in night court. And then when I went to night court, they gave me bail. So I got out of there. I had the bail bondsman and everything waiting there. I thought that was weird. But the next week I was back in the club. By the next weekend I was back in the club anyway. I was sitting back in the car service, counting the money, collecting the money. But
When
we had some crazy. We had some crazy
when Persico used to go on the lam all the time, would he be ready for that? Would he have like safe houses set up already and everything?
Well, let's put it this way: when the boss went on the lam, there was maybe one or two people knew where he was. That's it. That's it. And the only two people that knew where he was his brothers, his two brothers. That was it. Safest way to do it. Wherever he went, and and that was it. But only his two brothers would know where he was.
Someone was in the comment section. They were talking about Charlie Moose.
Oh yeah, all right. What about Charlie Moose? Charlie Moose's brother-in-law was. What was his brother-in-law's name now? The brother-in-law lived on Highland Boulevard. I'm trying to remember the brother-in-law's name, but he became an informant. The brother-in-law. I can't remember his name. The brother-in-law's name. He had a house on Highland Boulevard. It was Charlie's brother-in-law. The guy became an informant, and the reason why he said he became an informant, I believe he said he either saw the Blessed Virgin Mary or his dead mother came to him and told him, to turn his life around. And the guy did that. But he had a house on Highland Boulevard somewhere he lived. Charlie Moose's brother-in-law. It was his brother-in-law.
Was he involved with everything?
Charlie Moose, he was a captain in the family. Yeah, Charlie was a captain in the family. He was a captain in the family, and then a long time ago, let's say there was a disagreement, shall we say? That there was a disagreement between Charlie and some of the other guys, the higher ups, and Charlie went out to Las Vegas. Charlie went to Vegas. Huh?
In the box, right?
No. No, Charlie went to Vegas and he was operating out of Vegas. But he left New York. He was told he had to get out of New York. He was told.
Did you see a lot of people getting shelved? Did a lot of people get shelved?
Oh yeah. And for stupid reasons.
What are some of the reasons they would get shelved for?
Oh yeah. You got into an argument with one of the captain's cousins. And the guy the guy cursed at you and you cursed him back. Well, that's my cousin. It doesn't make a difference. You're cussing it out. The guy started with me. So I'm supposed to sit here and take the abuse from him? And they would shelf a guy. And then somebody else would come in and they would, after a while, they would take him off the shelf and say, now you're with us. I saw that happen a lot of times. A lot of times, if they didn't think you were running your crew right, depending on what your position was, they would put you on the shelf. If they didn't think you were big enough earner, they put you on the shelf. If you didn't think you showed enough, if you wasn't kicking in enough, they put you on the shelf. All for stupid reasons.
That's one of the worst things they could do to a person in that life, right?
Well, outside of whacking them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you put a guy on the shelf. I mean, it's like, and what it is that you put him on the shelf. He still has his button, but he has no power no more. And you can take him off the shelf anytime you want.
But so he can't associate with anybody in the family?
No, I knew plenty of guys that were on the shelf. They were still coming around and doing business. I never heard that. I knew plenty of guys. They put them on the shelf, and the guys still belonged to the family and came around. They were still earning, still doing what they did, but when they had a problem, somebody else had to go for them. They couldn't talk. It
that's
was
a
like it was
pretty
like it was like waiting to get. It was like like he wasn't made. You know what I'm saying? He was knocked back down against a civilian or an associate, basically.
have
Then
you ever
after a
seen
period of time,
have you ever seen someone like that, like oh, I want to just change my life and do the right thing now, and then they they just walk away from the life?
well, you don't exactly walk away. What you do is sometimes you got to pay. You got to pay money. Sometimes if you give them enough money, you walk away and just do what you want to do. And in a lot of cases, some cases it was like that. Some cases, guys just walked away. You know, whatever. It depends on the situation.
They want to know if you had any dealings with Roy DeMeo.
No, no, I had no. I met Roy a couple of times, but I had no dealings with him at all. No.
Did you have any dealings with the indicted consigliere Benjamin Castilizzo and
I mean,
Andrew Russo?
I knew Andrew Russo very well. I knew Andrew. He was a captain in the family. Andrew used to stay down in. He used to be in Monty's restaurant down the block. And little Benny, as he was called years ago, he was with Vinny Aloy and all them, Blue Eyes Aloy.
Did you own any pizza parlors?
No, no, I was in the club business. I had clubs.
In the juice business, right? Put money on the street.
Oh yeah, I had a shot. I mean, I got pitched for Shylock twice. Yeah.
Sandra Luciano says, "Do you know my father?"
What's her father's name?
I don't know.
You gotta give me a father's name.
Ask him if he knew Barry from Coney Island.
Yes, I do know Barry from Coney Island. Yes, I do. Barry used to have the car wash on Cropsey Avenue, I think it was. Barry's still in Coney Island. Barry's still
What's
there.
what's he like, the mayor of Coney Island and shit?
Barry's been down Coney Island ever since I can remember. I mean, let's put it this way. I think Barry was down there, I think about the same time when the old man Salty was there. That's how long Barry's been in Coney Island. Barry's been in Coney Island forever.
Did you know
Barry?
Dominic Catallato?
No, I never met him.
How about Jimmy Emma?
Who?
Jimmy Emma?
Jimmy Emma? You mean Minerva or Emma?
I don't know.
Jimmy
EMMA.
No, him I never heard of.
So how you been, man? What do you think of the recent events going on? What do you got going on around your neighborhood? Any craziness?
No, up here? Nah. No craziness up here. I mean, outside of them taking pictures of where I live, you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, like people play videos of me getting into altercation over and over and over, and then when something else happens against them, they fucking get all, you know?
Listen, let me tell you something. People can talk. People are always going to talk. People are going to get jealous, and they're always going to talk. People are going to say, "Oh, you ain't nothing. You never did this. You never did that." Let me explain. Okay, the new guys that came up now.
I think we had John A-Light in the fucking chat. If that was really him, I doubt it, but
yeah,
might have been a fake one.
The new guys that came up now, they weren't even around. They weren't even allowed to come down to the Diplomat when we were there. So I left quite a while ago, and I was hanging out up in the Bronx. I was on Arthur Avenue with Uncle Danny. We called him Uncle Danny. His name was Danny Salenti. and I was staying up there. And all these new kids only came about the last maybe 15, 20 years. All these new guys came about. All right? And they're all, well, we don't know. That's because half of them you don't know me because I left a long time ago. And I don't associate with kids. These guys are in their 40s and they make it like they were there for 100 years. When I was around in my day, I was the youngest guy. Me and a couple of other guys were the youngest guys in that crew. Everybody else was at least 25 years to 40 years older than us. Now all these new kids came up. They came up because their uncles died, the fathers died, the cousins, or whatever. I don't know who these kids are. They can say whatever they want. I don't know them. They don't know me. But you know what I found out? Once you start being a little bit popular or successful, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to talk bad about you. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to tell you you don't know this, you don't that. Because you know what? They want to try to get 15 minutes of fame off of your name. That's what they want to do.
Ain't gonna happen off me, man.
And then a lot of them, like Liz Coppola, she wrote to me and she told me they called them keyboard warriors, she calls them. Or they hide behind a camera. Or they hide behind a phone. So they don't come to your face. I said, the people like that, I don't put no stock in. You don't really pay them no attention. Seriously. If you're going to do that, you're going to be making 24 hours a day with these people.
Man,
you know what? I got just one thing. You see, Staxx, you see I'm holding up papers here?
Yep. What's that, Mr. What's that, Mr. Raimondi?
What?
What's that? What's that?
What's this?
Yeah.
These are papers, and I'm just going to read you the top parts. Okay? The top part of the paper says, in the matter of Anthony Raimondi, New York State, County of Kings, Anthony Raimondi, these are affidavits from people who acknowledged to the courts, one, that I was involved with Lufthansa, two, I was involved with Meyer Lansky, with the Pope, with going down there, with Mayor Koch and everything. And these are signed, sealed, delivered, and, hold on, they also have been notarized by the courts. So anybody can say what they want. I got the paperwork right here, number one. Number two, if you really want to delve into it, get my report from the FBI. Get my organized crime strike force reports. You can do it. You all talking about the Freedom of Information Act. Go do it, brother.
Did you ever have any dealings with Greg DePalma? What's that crackling noise, man?
I knew Greg DePalma. I knew Greg, but I never had no dealings with him. No, I didn't deal with Greg. I knew him, but I didn't have no dealings with him. No. Yeah,
well, we got a lot of good people in the chat, man, that are watching.
I mean, I dealt with a lot of people. I dealt with a lot of different people, a lot of different things. Like I said, I used to have a thing in Connecticut where we had a bookmaking line, and every Sunday morning I used to go up there and pick up what we used to call the ribbon or the winnings and the winners and the losses and the money. I used to go every Sunday morning and pick it up. I used to go up to I used to go to Darien, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I used to go to Norwalk. Then I used to go to Fairfield. Because, we would change the spot after a while. And there was a friend of ours, when I used to go up to Fairfield, I used to stay at the Rustic Grotto, because a friend of ours, Angelo, owned it. It was a restaurant and a hotel. And I used to get a room over there.
People are complaining about the crackling noise, man. Your phone or something's making that crackling noise.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
You gotta charge that shit next time, man.
It is charged, but it's near my computer.
That's probably why it's doing that, because it's next to a speaker.
Hold on. Let me see if I can shut the computer down, brother.
Hey, Anthony, Tony Agro says, Anthony, it's a miracle that you're still alive. Have you ever thought about speaking at schools and talking about life and stuff with kids?
Yeah, I thought about it. I seriously thought about it. And I wouldn't mind doing it, but I would have to have somebody that would have to set it up and everything.
Yeah, because I'm not Anthony's manager. You have a manager, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been married, yes.
Ask Anthony if he met Angelo Ruggiero.
Angelo, I met him maybe 2 or 3 times down on Mulberry Street. I just met him like that. You know, like you meet him, you go down there, a couple of guys, somebody's got to go see somebody, you're with them. Hey, Angelo, this is Anthony. Anthony, this is Angelo. How do you do? You know, like that. But when I used to go down there, I used to see Frankie C all the time when he was alive. Zuki, he's still around, Zuki. He's about 90-something years old now. There's a couple of guys I still see every now and then, like when I go down there.
Who's the Colombo guy in the commission case that ran the unions?
Are you talking about Ralphie Scorpo? Or are you talking about Jerry Lang? Or Nicky Black? Take your choice. Because Nicky Black was a captain in the family and he ran the unions. Ralphie Scorpo was a big shot in the family and he ran it. But Jerry, he was like the underboss of the family, street boss and then underboss.
Do you have any stories with them guys?
No, Jerry was my he was my rabbi. You know, him and Alley Boy were my rabbis.
Did you know John Papa, the leader of the Rampers?
Johnny Papa, no. Charlie Moose's brother-in-law, you just got me. Johnny Pate, that was the guy. Johnny Pate was Charlie Moose's brother-in-law. That's the guy who, when he got arrested, he turned around and said that either his dead mother came to him or the Blessed Virgin Mary and told him to repent and turn around and give up all his friends. I swear to God, that was what he said. Johnny Pate.
I've heard.
I couldn't think of his name until you mentioned Johnny Papa. And I remember Johnny Pate.
I've heard crazier shit, man, you know?
Listen. You know what? It's a crazy life we led back then. You know? I'll tell you one thing. When things were good, you could live 100 lifetimes in a week. But when things go bad, man, you could live 1,000,000 lifetimes in one day. Because once things go bad, everybody starts pointing the finger. This guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. And everybody has to start walking on tippy toes because you don't know who's going to get popped. Because an order comes down, this guy's got to go. Just on suspicion that the guy might be a rat. Or whatever. Bad times.
So what do you think's going on right now? What do you think's going on? What do you think's going on right now in the family? Where everything that's going on, the indictments and everything?
Listen, I said this a long time ago. I think I said it in my podcast, and I say it now. Take any family you want. Columbos, Gambinos, Genovese, Lucchese, Bonanno family. Take any family you want. Let's say one family has maybe 7 different crews. So you got 7 captains running 7 different crews, right? I'm telling you my opinion, strictly my opinion. Each one of those crews has at least one guy talking to the feds or talking to the law. And I don't care what anybody says because they know too much. They know where to put the bugs and everything. And let me tell you, everybody who thinks this thing is still like it was years ago, here. An old timer explained to me, he says, here's how it works, Anthony. I'm the boss. I said, okay, you're the boss. He goes, you're the underboss. You got the consigliere, street boss, and you got the enforcer. I says, right. He goes, now I get pinched, and I'm doing 100 years. Okay. Now you become boss, and everybody moves up. I says, right. He goes, and I tell you, we know who the stool pigeon is. I want him dead. It's your job. Make sure you kill him. Okay. After a while, they call a meeting. They say, listen, so-and-so is in there. He's in there for life. He ain't never coming out. He wants us to kill the stool pigeon. Okay, if we kill this stool pigeon, how do we know somebody's not going to rat on us and we're sitting in the cell next to him doing 100 years or 1,000 years? So you know what we tell them? Yeah, we're looking for the guy. We can't find him, but we're looking for him. We're looking for him. And that's it. Because sooner or later, we're going to get arrested and we're going to have our own problems. You want to be stuck in the can next to him, in the cell next to him, said for 100 years, 150 years, and said, "Oh, good, thank you, you killed the rat." But meanwhile, you're in the prison, you're in the can too, and they won't even
Yeah,
bother going
fuck
look.
that.
That's what they.
So
Old time explained that to me a long time ago.
yeah.
Long time ago, an old time explained that to me, and he was right.
So,
And he was right.
so
Sincerely, he was right about that.
this guy, IRL drug rehab counselor, said, "Would Anthony be available to work as a special guest doing meet and greet for a Narcotics Anonymous event in Brooklyn?"
Yeah, I would. I'll be available. I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
As
want to
long
give
as it's
him your
helping out people, yeah.
yeah. So I give him the email to get in contact, and then you can take it from there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Ask where in Brooklyn would it be?
I don't know. He's just in the comment section, so.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
If I can do any good to get some people straightened out for drugs and liquor, yeah, why not? There's nothing wrong with that at all.
they asked what your opinion is with John Panisi. I don't think you know him, right?
No, I don't know the man. No. You know, you got to remember, not every wise guy knows every wise guy. See, that's what a lot of people think. They think that every wise guy knows every wise guy. They don't. Not everybody
Did you
does.
ever meet Tommy Huck
Tommy Hook?
Combinero from Bensonhurst?
No.
Tommy
No, I
Huck.
never even heard of him. Who?
Tommy Huck Carbonero?
No, I never heard of him. No.
Yeah, that
Like I did a lot of business in Connecticut with Tommy DeBreezy before he got whacked. I did a lot of business with him. We did business with Billy Grasso before he got clipped also. We did some business with him. My father used to do business with Frankie Piccolo also. We went around, like when I would go to Jersey, I would deal with the old man Rayo out there. With people like that we did business with. Up in the Bronx, I used to deal with Rudy up in the Bronx, with Danny Salenti, Uncle Danny Salenti. I used to hang out up there and deal with him.
I don't think people know how many people you really know. How many lives you live,
You gotta
man.
remember, I'm gonna be 68 years old. So a lot of these people think I'm younger than I am. I'm not. I'm gonna be 68. I've been around this all my life. That's what I'm trying to make. That's what I'm trying to tell them.
Did you ever meet Lucchese or
cousin of
Bonanno?
mine. What?
Did you ever meet Lucchese or Bonanno?
No, Tommy Lucchese, I never met him. Joe Bonanno, sure, I knew Joe Bonanno very well. My father, he was great friends with my father and my uncles. Matter of fact, in my book, I got one of the last chapters in my book when I believe it's I got it. Yeah, no, I don't know if I put it in book 2. I forgot because I'm still working on the book. After everything happened with the Vatican, years later, my cousin, he left the Vatican, Marcinkus, he retired in the 90s. And he went back, he went down to I think it was Sun City, Arizona he was in. And one day he gives me a call. He says, I want you to come down here. There's a plane ticket for you. He goes, somebody wants to see you. I know who the fuck wants to see me down there. He goes, somebody wants to see you. He goes, somebody you haven't seen in a long time. I said, okay. I go down to the airport, pick up my ticket, I go down there, my cousin picks me up. Now you gotta remember, he was a cardinal and he was the head of the Vatican Bank, but he took off with over $150 million out of their money. I mean, so who's that better than him? I'm in the house, I'm smoking a cigar. I got my back to the door. And I hear a guy with a heavy Italian accent going, Anthony, you come here, but you don't bring me no fucking cigars. And I'm saying, voice is for me. I know the voice, but I can't picture it. Guy walks up and puts his hand on my shoulder. I look up, it was Joe Bonanno. I started laughing when I seen it. How you been? How's your father? Everything. He knew my whole family, Joe Bonanno. My whole family, he knew. I was laughing when I seen him. And it turns out that Joe Bonanno, he was instrumental. He was one of the guys instrumental in the stock fraud scam in the Vatican.
What was
Yeah.
the story that?
He
What
was
was
one
the
of the, he
story?
was one of the guys who put it together.
What was the story? What was the story that you got? Why Joe Bonanno was made to go to Arizona?
Listen, there was 1,000 different stories. All right. Somebody said because he tried to kill one of the bosses without permission. Somebody said that they thought he was going to be an informant. Somebody said that he got tired of the life up here in New York and he was going to start something new down in Arizona. There was a million stories.
He supposedly got kidnapped, right?
That was way before he went to Arizona. I mean, way before he went to Arizona. Now, they said he got kidnapped. They said that he set it up. They said that there was a hit put on him and that he had himself kidnapped until he found out who the traders were, who were going to put the hit on him. I mean, like I said, Joe Bonanno, there were a million stories going around about him. Million stories. But I'll tell you one thing. Even though he was in Arizona, man still had a lot of power. Don't let nobody ever bullshit.
Yeah, he had other people working for him,
Had a lot
right?
of power.
Wasn't his son? His sons were dealing with a lot of things.
And people, yeah, his sons were. He was dealing
Bill,
with
right?
stuff down in Arizona, and he still had things going on in New York. And there was what I call a push comes to shove thing. They were going to change the name of the Bonanno family. I don't know what they were going to change it to, but they were going to change the name.
The
Joe
Raimondi
Bonanno,
family. The Raimondi family.
No. What?
The Raimondi family. They should have changed it to the Raimondi family, man.
No. Please. Don't even start that rumor because some idiot who's listening will believe that. No. They were going to change the name of the Bonanno family, the commission. And Joe, he made his point. You're not changing the name of my family. He made this point that he went to the point that he said, Joe, from what I was told, and that came from my grandfathers, who got remember, they were in the Black Hand. They was told it's been the Bonanno family from the beginning. It's going to be the Bonanno family to the end. I'm in Nevada. I'm in here. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm doing what I got to do. That gets changed. There will be a war up there in New York in the streets. And he wasn't kidding. And they knew he wasn't fucking playing games. And they let it go. They just dropped it and they didn't change the name.
Yeah, in that show,
Joe is tough. He was a tough man. He was a slouch.
In that show, Harlem, the Godfather of Harlem, they portrayed Joe Bonanno as like I don't know, real arrogant and shit.
Say what?
You gotta see this series called The Godfather of Harlem.
Yeah.
They have a guy playing Joe Bonanno in it.
Right.
But he's acting all arrogant in the way he carries himself.
Nah, he wasn't like that. Joe was not like that. Joe was always a gentleman, meticulous dresser, always fair. You know, when it came down to business, he was 100% business. Business was business, and anything after business was something different. But he was always businessman whenever he had to do business. He wasn't arrogant, no. He was confident of himself, which he was. He knew what he was. He knew what he could do. When it came to business, that was it. He didn't budge. He did what he wanted to do with business.
Yeah, The Godfather of Harlem was bull. It was bullshit. But it was entertaining.
Oh, I never saw it. I haven't seen it.
What about Boardwalk Empire? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you like it?
It was amusing. Let me put it that way.
It was like when they set the when he burned the sheriff on fire and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy, man. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, back then, back then, this is what I guess they done back then. You know what I'm saying? But this is
Yeah,
way before I was born.
Yeah, they did anything they wanted to do, basically, man.
Yeah, that was way before I was born. But my Uncle Lucky was just a kid. He was a young man when you seen that, like in his 20s, when you seen that show.
I read stories about Lucky, and when he got caught talking to another guy down in Jersey or something, and they caught him with a gun, caught him with a handgun.
Yeah.
And then he came back up. There's all kinds of different stories, and some people don't know what to believe. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you're always going to have 1,000 different. Look, you could say one story, okay? Like here, we could turn around and say, we're just going to use it as an example. Only as an example. Lucky was in the car and he ran over a guy and he never got caught. That one story, people will make 40 different stories out of it. Lucky was being chased by the cops and he ran over a guy. Lucky did this, Lucky did that. They'll take one story and make 40 different stories out of
it. People do that now, man.
Now, are you kidding me? Look at me. They changed my words around from my book. When I wrote certain things in my book, they changed the words around. Why? If you don't know how to read, then you should make somebody read you the book. I mean, there's things that people are writing saying that I said that I didn't say. And I told them, why don't you read the book? And you'll see what I said, exactly what I said. Like one guy kept writing back and forth. You said this, you said that, you said this. And I told the guy, did you read the book? No. Okay. What do you go? Oh, what I heard on the internet. Read the book or listen to the podcast and you'll hear my words, what I said, not what somebody said and changed it around to make themselves get that 15 minutes of fame. Say, see what Anthony said? He said this and he said that. Read the book and you'll see whatever the guy's telling you I said was a lie. I said something different. Like I keep saying, this thing with Sally Burns. I always said the guy that I shot was Sally Burns' cousin. That was in 1969. So everybody says, certain people say, he said he killed Sally Burns. Sally Burns was killed in 1970, shot in the head 4 times with a 22 and put in the trunk of a car. That was the old man, Sally Burns. I never said I shot him. I repeat, I said I shot Salvatore Granello, his cousin, whose name is Salvatore Granello. So they say, oh, why would the guy have the same name as him in the family? Well, if you look at my family, there's 3 Anthony Raimondis and 1 Tony Raimondi. Italians do that. They put 2, 3, 4 kids with the same name, and they're cousins. We're all cousins. But somebody's always going to keep saying that I said I shot Sally Granello, which I keep telling them, no, I shot the cousin, his cousin, in 1969, his cousin. But somebody will always take it and they change it around, try to make themselves look right, and they get 15 minutes of fame.
What's book 2 gonna be about, man?
What?
What's book 2 gonna be about?
It picks up from book 1, and it goes deeper into the assassination of Pope John Paul I. It goes into the rest of the story of everybody else who was involved in it. And it goes into that more. It goes into when I got arrested, when I was in prison, what happened in the prisons, and when they were shipping me back and forth, and so on and so forth when I came home.
This dude wants to know, can you lay out the night that you were made?
The only thing I would detail about that is when I got picked up. I was supposed to go have dinner with some people. And I got picked up, and I went to Casabella's restaurant, and they said, we're having dinner upstairs in the private room. I said, okay, fine. I was with TN. I was with TG. What you call it? I was with Tony Graziano. He had picked me up because he was in the neighborhood. We went down. I said, all right, because he knew my grandfather and everything. When we went upstairs to the private room, And I walked in. That's when I seen everybody at the table, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. Because there was no dinner set up there. All the boss was there. Everybody was right there. So I knew what was going to happen. And that was on Good Friday in 1979. And that was because Alley Boy wanted me straightened out, but the Columbos couldn't have anything done for a while because they stopped it. And so that's when he went to see Carmine Galenti. Carmine Galenti, who was a cousin to my grandfather, went and spoke to my grandfather to get his okay. And my grandfather gave him the okay. And that's how it happened. And then once I got straightened out with them, then I was transferred over to the Columbos. But they have a thing that somebody took out of the newspaper. It was the roster, I guess, or whatever you call it, of the Bonanno family. And it has my name in 1979 when I got straightened out. When I was transferred over to the Columbus. Now, some people say, oh, that's impossible. That never happened. That can't happen. That was a frequent move that was done. When you couldn't make a guy in your family because there was a stop on it, or what they call a moratorium, or the books were closed. If the books were open in another family, then your guy who wanted you made, they would go to the other family. If the other family had no problem with you, they would straighten you out there and ship you over to the family that wanted you made. That was a common practice. So all these guys who were saying, oh, no, that never happened, they can't do it like that. Yes, it was done like that. That was done like that a lot of times.
Did someone ever get made twice, like they got made in this family and then they went over here and had a ceremony over here too?
I heard a rumor about that, but I don't know how true it is. Because I can't see it. I can't see it happening. If you got straightened out in one family, then how did you wind up getting straightened out in another family? I heard a rumor. A long, long time ago, I heard a rumor about that. But I never found no credence in that, if it's true or not. I mean, because, like I said, I don't know how, I mean, if you get straightened out, okay? You get straightened out. Now, that's it. You're straightened out. Now, they can't turn around. I mean, can they take your button away from you? I guess they can take your button away. I mean, I never heard of it. They put you on the shelf. Yeah, but I never heard of taking your button away from you. But then again, I never heard of a guy getting made. Like I said, it was a rumor that I heard. Oh, shit, I heard that about 25 years ago that happened. I don't know if it's true or not. But then again, they made guys in the fucking bathroom in prison. So, I mean, I guess anything's possible. I mean, you heard that. They made guys in a prison bathroom, a prison closet. They made guys without the real ceremony. I mean, to me, it's not being straightened out. I'm sorry. You don't.
And I mean, what happens when they can't pass around the name to the other families and they don't know who this person is, and the person's like out bad with one of the other families and just go to another family? That's what would happen.
Listen, I know. No, listen to me. If they 90% of the time, the other families might not know your name. So they pass the name around. Is there any problem with this guy in your family? No. If everybody says no, you get straightened out. Now, if one person says yes, there's a problem, they look in to see what the problem is. If the family you're with sees that there's no credence or it's no big deal with the problem you had, they'll straighten you out. But if it's a serious problem, like they say they think that you were an informant, or you killed a made guy, or you harmed a member of a made guy's family without permission or whatever, that's a problem. Now, they either don't make you or they got to try to straighten it out. Depends on the family that you're with, who's going to straighten you out.
I get it, man.
A lot of crazy shit have happened in the years, man. I'll tell you that now. A lot of crazy stuff has happened.
Do you think there's more problems in the family over money or over women?
Money.
Yeah.
Definitely money. Yeah. Definitely money. More problems over money. Definitely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. There's definitely problems over money. Always. Everybody's always looking to make that dollar take away. Listen, you have a lot of guys in this life that are jealous. I don't care what anybody tells you. Oh, you can't be jealous. That's bullshit.
I get it every day, bro. I get it every day. And I don't know why. They could do the same shit I do.
Yeah.
It's easy.
A lot of guys in that life are jealous. You know, not all of them, but quite a few of them are. And when you got something you're doing real good, they're jealous. And there's always somebody that's going to try to plan or sneak or whatever to take what you got. That's why you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to know what you're doing, because it's very easy in this life, especially when you're involved. It's very, very easy for somebody to come up and say, hey, you know what? He's a rat. He's a stool pigeon. Or I think he ratted on me. And they can make up a story and they won't tell you nothing. They'll look into it. But if you get enough guys, like let's say me and you turn around and we say, this guy Mike will say he's a rat. I know. Well, here, Staxx will verify it. Now you're with me on this conspiracy because we want to take over stuff. Yeah, he's a rat. Now we get 2 or 3 other guys that are close to us. Listen, the guy's a rat. I heard he's an informant. This, that, whatever. The order comes down. You take him out. They take him out, and then you take over the guy's business. I've seen that happen a lot of times. A lot of times that's happened. You know, this is what it is. That's why you got to make your name. You got to stick by your name, and you got to do what's got to be done. That's it. If somebody messes with you, first time somebody gets out of hand with you, you bust them right up. You don't waste no time. And they can say, and I'm not wrong. The guy accused me of this, or the guy said this. I busted his ass up. Nobody says that about me. And that's what you got to do.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man.
What?
Said sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a treacherous life. Don't kid yourself. I mean, you got to remember one thing. You could be close with X amount of guys, with a lot of guys. I mean, you eat together, you sleep together, you could have killed together, you could have done everything. But when that order comes down, you got to go. They're going to get the guys that are next to you, the closest guys to you. Got to be the ones that do it. And they got to do it. Because if they don't do it, they're going to get clipped also. That's just the way it is.
Well, thank you for coming on tonight, man. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
As always, man. And you know, we're gonna definitely do more shows. Yeah. And get some more information out there, crack some jokes, laugh. Yeah. You know. But anyway, man, I hope you feel better, man. And thank you, everyone that's watching. I appreciate all of you. You want to give anyone a shout out before we go, man?
No, I'm good. Just say hi to Liz Capola. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. And I want to give a shout out to Benny Binion. Rest in peace. Benny in the box.
Let me tell you, wherever Benny is right now, I guarantee he's running a game up there.
Probably, right?
Definitely.
Mr. Benny Binion.
And I bet he's got his 2 6 guns with him also.
Yeah. So you guys, thank you, man. I appreciate every single one of you guys, even the haters. You guys are all great. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Peace.
Sounds good.